हरे कृष्णा। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome back to the fourth day of this course, The Royal Road Ahead, Bhava and Prema Bhakti. So we have been discussing from the book Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, and yesterday we discussed on the reliable qualities of a person who has developed Bhava Bhakti. So we saw these 9 qualities which have to be there in a person if he is to be considered as a bona fide Bhava Bhakta. क्षांतिर अव्यर्थ कालत्वम विरक्तिर मानशून्यता आशाबंधा समुत्कंठा नामगाने सदा रुचि आसक्तिस्तद्गुणाख्याने प्रीतिस्तद्वसति स्थले इत्यादयोनुभावस्युर्जात भावांकुरे जने. This is what Srila Rupa Goswami says, these 9 qualities. If these 9 qualities are not there and he is just showing some external symptoms of crying or something like that, or hair standing on end, then it could be many options. So we will complete one more section before we discuss the various possible options for if a person is crying or showing some symptoms of ecstasy. But if these 9 qualities are absent, then what could be the possible reasons? We will try to see after we complete this one section, which is the 7th part of this course that we are discussing now. We are going to discuss now actions of a person at the stage of bhava. So this section actually we had already discussed in the course Madhurya Kadambini, the self-evaluation tools on the path of bhakti. But nevertheless, because it is connected to this discussion right now, we will discuss this also. So how do you identify the actions of a person at the stage of bhava? So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives an example. It's not that every person at the stage of bhava exactly acts like this, but he is just giving one such example of a person, how he could potentially act. So he says it's a very poetic rendition. You can just hear and relish. So he says, at that time, his eyes full of longing turned towards Krishna to lick the blackness of his limbs, the rosy hue of his lips and eye rims, the white brilliance of his moon-like teeth shining in his smiling face, the yellow hue of his clothing and ornaments, and begin to bathe his body in unlimited tears. So, for a person who has reached the stage of bhava, every limb of his body wants to individually relish Krishna. This is mentioned in the case of Dhruva Maharaj also. Chumban ivasyena bujair ivaslishan, it is mentioned. That with his hands he wanted to embrace Krishna, with his lips he wanted to kiss the lotus feet of Krishna. With his eyes he wanted to completely devour Krishna with his eyes, like that. Like a hunted animal, here and there from time to time, freezing his motion, he raises his ears to try to hear the sound of Krishna's flute, the jingling of his anklets, the sweet intonation of his voice, the messages of his wandering footsteps. So he, in this way, like a hunted animal, he is always constantly wanting to engage all his senses. Eyes was mentioned in the previous paragraph. In this paragraph is, eyes, and in this paragraph, ears. He is always raising his ears. Oh, am I hearing Krishna's flute? Am I hearing Krishna's jingling of his anklets? What am I hearing? Like that. And his body erupts in ecstasy on experiencing the longed for touch of the Lord's tender hands. His skin is aching, longing to experience the touch of Krishna's hands. His nostrils open wide again and again and inhale, anxious to examine the fragrance of his body. Hankering to taste the Lord's saliva, his tongue feels great joy on attaining that taste and he licks his lips. In this way, every limb of his body wants to individually experience Krishna. Sometimes, when he gains the association of the Lord, as we had discussed in one of the previous courses, I think Rediscovering Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, we discussed that at the stage of bhava, even though the person is qualified to take personal association of the Supreme Lord, Krishna Sakshat Kritau Yogya, Sadhaka Parikirtita. So even though he is perfectly qualified to take the personal association of Krishna, that association is sporadic only. It is not continuous. It's sporadic association because he has not completely perfected his bhakti. That happens at the stage of prema. Continuous association he gets at the stage of prema only. So sometimes when he gains the association of the Lord by the Lord's whim, his heart feels exhilarated and he becomes drunk with the abundance of sweetness, and then at the departure of the Lord he grieves and becomes despondent. Like Narada Muni's case, in the first canto it is described that as soon as the Lord gave Sakridyat Darshitam Rupam, once he gave darshan to him and then when he vanished from his vision, suddenly Narada Muni was feeling extreme despondency. He was trying everything in his hands to see what did I do wrong. I will try to repeat the same thing so that I can see Krishna. But then Krishna told him, look, avipakva kashayanam durdarshoham kuyoginam. There are some small impurities which are still not destroyed in your heart. That is why I cannot give you constant darshan. But because I have given you darshan once, just to increase that longing to see me again, so that fire of that longing will burn away all the remaining impurities in your heart so that you can permanently associate with me when you reach the stage of prema. So this is what Krishna says. So therefore the Bhava Bhakta, when sometimes Krishna, just to give him a glimpse, gives his own darshan to him, he feels so excited and exhilarated. And when that darshan he removes, he becomes so despondent, he starts grieving. In this way, the symptoms of Sanchari Bhava decorate his body, transient emotions, as we had discussed. His intelligence in the state of wakefulness, sleep and deep sleep determines to fix itself without deviation on the path of remembrance of Krishna. In our case, in the material realm, in the conditioned state, whether we are sleeping or dreaming or awake, we constantly think of our sense gratification only. But at the stage of bhava, this person, even under the unconscious state of sleeping or the semi-conscious state of dreaming or the fully conscious state of being awake, he is constantly thinking of Krishna only, helplessly. And at the time of attaining his spiritual body, the indestructible soul enters that body and the material body becomes almost lifeless. This is described in the episode of Narada Muni also. It is mentioned, Tadit Saudamaniyata. Just like lightning, the lightning and the light and the lightning, they both appear almost simultaneously, even though one after another, but it is almost simultaneous. You can't even make out whether you saw the lightning first or the light first. So like that, he is giving a Bhava Bhakta's giving up his material body and gaining his spiritual body is almost immediate, like that. At this stage, the devotee begins to experience extreme possessiveness towards Krishna. Atishaya mamatva, it is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Later we will see. Like a bee, he becomes anxious to imbibe the fragrance of Krishna's lotus feet. Having obtained the most precious jewel of bhava, the devotee, like a miser, hides it from ordinary people. So, such a person does not try to show off his ecstasy in front of others. As he becomes the residence of renunciation, tolerance and other such wonderful qualities which manifest themselves at the stage of bhava. We saw this in the previous section. Kshantir avyartha kalatvam and so on. Advanced devotees will understand his internal status by those external symptoms, but others who see his distracted mind will conclude that he is mad. So, those who know the signs of bhakti, they will see those reliable symptoms of bhava and see that, oh, here is such an exalted person. Let us take his association. Let us serve him. Whereas, those who do not know the signs of bhakti, they will think that, oh, here is a madman. As Srila Madhavendra Puri mentions, Mugdam mam nigadantu niti nipuna Bhrantam muhur vaidika Mandam bandava sanchaya jadadiyam Muktadara sodara Unmattam danino viveka chatura Kamam mahadambikam Moktum nakshamate managapi mano Govinda padaspriham. So he says, Mugdam mam nigadantu niti nipuna. Let the people who are attached to mundane morality accuse me of being illusioned. Brahmtam muhur vaidika. Vaidika means let the experts in Vedic activities, let them criticize me to be misled. Mandam bandava sanchaya, and let my friends and relatives accuse me of being frustrated. Jadadiyam muktadara sodara, let my brothers call me a fool. Unmattam dhanino, let the wealthy people call me as a madman. Viveka chatura kamam mahadambikam, and let the learned philosophers judge me to be extremely proud. Moktum na kshamate managapi mano govinda padaspraham. Still my mind cannot take even a moment away from meditating on Krishna. I cannot. What can I do? I am helpless. Let everyone criticize me this way. As King Kulashekar says in Mukunda Mala Stotra, Tejantu bandava sarva nidnantu guravo jana tatapi paramanando govindo mama jivanam. He says, Tyajantu bandava sarva, let all my relatives reject me. Nindantu guravo jana, let all my superiors criticize me. Tatapi paramanando govindo mama jivanam. But still the all blissful Govinda is my only life and soul. What can I do? I cannot stop thinking of him. So in this way, when people see a person at the stage of bhava, they may think that he is mad. But those who understand the science of bhakti, they know that he is a very exalted soul. We see in the life of Srila Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj also. When he was in Mayapur and he was unconscious, he was behaving in a very strange way sometimes. And suddenly he became unconscious. People thought he is almost dead. They brought the doctors, they could not feel his pulse. And all of a sudden, but they were not very clear, all the symptoms of a person leaving his body were also not manifest in him. So they were wondering, what is this? What disease he is undergoing? So at that time, incidentally, Prabhupada's very exalted god brother Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was walking past that place. So devotees called him and said, Maharaj, can you please tell what's going on with our Guru? So he saw, immediately he could identify that here is a person at the stage of very exalted stage. He took a very small strand of cotton, took it near the nose of Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, and it slowly, very little it moved. And then he looked for the other symptoms. He started laughing and he said, Prema, Prema. Here is a person in Prema. And he was so happy to see. And he passed a comment something like, oh, your Guru Maharaj has given the real wealth. That is why one of his disciples, Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, he was showing all the symptoms of Prema. So, whereas others were thinking, what is wrong with his health, what is wrong with his mind, should we take him to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, what is this? And Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj came and judged, oh, here is a person at the stage of Prema, like that. So, in this way, we saw a glimpse into the life of a person at the stage of Bhava, rendered in a very poetic way by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his book Madhurya Kadambini. Now, we will discuss that, as I mentioned, if someone is showing the symptoms of crying, hair standing on end, some of these symptoms, but he is not showing the 9 reliable symptoms of Bhava, then what could be the reason? One reason is that he is just trying to cheat. He just wants some, in the previous course we discussed about, like I will share this story again. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Guru, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, was a very exalted soul. So where he was staying, even though he was not at all, he was completely absorbed in worshipping Krishna within his heart, chanting his holy names, but still fame was following him wherever he went. Because Pratishta Devi wants to honor only those who reject her. So therefore, one of the cheats, he wanted to get similar glorification. So he went and made a bhajan kutir near the bhajan kutir of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and he would loudly shout and cry and roll down on the ground, try to show some of the external symptoms of Bhava in order to attract the attention of innocent public. And one day, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj became very pity. He took a lot of pity on that person, and he said, look, for a person, when a barren woman who cannot give birth to a child, when she sees a mother delivering her child, she sees that she is shouting, screaming loudly, and after that the child is coming out. So that barren woman also starts screaming and screaming and screaming, but no child will come out, because that screaming is not producing the birth of the child, but the birth of child is creating intolerable pain for the mother. That is why she is screaming. So similarly, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was explaining to him that you cannot get love by crying and rolling down on the dust. You have to practice sincere bhakti. Don't try to imitate like this. So in this way. So if someone is crying and showing some external symptoms, it could be plain imitation. Second reason could be, he is crying because of some material, he was thinking of some material relationships. That's all. Like for example, once there was a very big Bhagavat Kathakar, and in that Bhagavat Kathakar's Katha, one lady was sitting and she was crying. So the Bhagavat Kathakar felt, I must be doing something, I must be speaking very nicely, that's why she is crying. And at the end of the Katha, the lady asked, there are many versions of this story, I will share one of the versions, but anyway the moral of the story is same. So she said, what did you like in the Katha so much that you are crying? She said that, I don't know what you spoke, but when I saw your small beard, it reminded me of my goat. So a few days back, someone stole that goat. And when I saw your beard, it reminded me of that goat, and therefore I was crying. So here is a person in connection with a spiritual subject matter connected to Krishna, and she is manifesting some symptoms of ecstasy, but it is not in connection with Krishna. She was thinking about some material relationship. So in this case, she is not trying to fake. It is genuine tears, but not born out of spiritual emotion, but it is born out of material emotion. This is the second, this could be the second reason. The third reason is because someone imagines a relationship with Krishna. This is called as Laukiki Shraddha, mundane Shraddha. So such a person also, he may cry because of that imagined relationship with Krishna. He is also not trying to fake. This is the third reason. And the fourth reason is what we are going to discuss now. These three reasons are self-explanatory. We are not going to discuss it. The fourth reason is what we are going to discuss right now, which is called as Rati Abhas, a reflection of Bhava, which is not Bhava. From the very word, it indicates it is not Bhava, but it is a reflection of Bhava. What does it mean? This is a long discussion. We will start this discussion today. Maybe we may not be able to complete this discussion today. If not today, tomorrow we will complete. So, the three reasons. Reason one, he is probably trying to cheat. Reason two, he is remembering some material relationships and crying. Reason three, he is having a very sentimental relationship with Krishna, because of which he is crying. The emotion is genuine, but it is not a spiritual emotion, because bhava is a spiritual emotion. Now, let's elaborately try to understand this fourth reason, which is called as Rati Abhas. This Rati Abhas is also not cheating. This is genuine. So what we are going to discuss now is not cheating. This is real emotion. But what is the reason for that emotion, we are going to try to understand now. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Vyaktam masrinite vantar lakshate rati lakshanam mumukshu prabriti nam ched paved esha ratir nahi. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Masrinite eva antar ched. He says, if you see the softness of heart, that person's heart has softened. Softening of heart is characterized by symptoms such as crying or the other Ashtasattvika bhavas. Rati Lakshanam, if the softness of heart, which is a symptom of Rati, Vyaktam Lakshate, it is clearly seen, the person is crying, his hairs are standing on end. But Mumukshu Prabhutinam, he has a desire for liberation. Now, one may say that how can the first basic qualification needed for Bhava Bhakti is Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadhya Navratam Anukulyena Krishnanushīlanam. Even a sadhaka needs to have these qualities. But if a person is aspiring for liberation or some material enjoyment, how in such a person he can exhibit the symptoms of bhava? So therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Esha ratir nahi bhavet. This is not rati, this is not bhava. Then what is it? We will try to understand. And why is it happening? It has been stated that the quality of real bhava means having desire only to please Krishna. Anya bilashita shunyam. Therefore, if other desires are present, one should understand that it is not bhava. Even though some of the sattvika vikaras like crying and choking up of voice, these may manifest, but that is not bhava. Because the basic quality of not having any other desire other than the desire to please the Supreme Lord is not there. So therefore, what is seen as internal softness in a person who desires for liberation is actually not bhava, but it is what is called as bhavabhas or rati abhas. So, Srila Rupa Goswami explains this. He says, Vimukta kila tarshairya muktaidapi vimugyate ya krishnena tyagyopyashu bhajadbyopi nadiyate sa bhukti mukti kamatvat shuddham bhaktim akurvatam hridaye sambhavatyesham katam bhagavati ratihi. He says, Katam bhagavati ratihi hridaye sambhavati. How can bhava towards the Supreme Lord manifest in the heart? Yesham bhukti mukti kamatvat. In the heart of those people who have a desire for bhukti or mukti. Shuddham bhaktim akurvatam. They are not even practicing uttama bhakti. Vimrugyate. This bhava is sought after. Vimukta akilat tarshair muktairapi. Even the completely liberated persons who have no material desires, they hanker for bhava, but Krishna does not give that bhava to them very easily. Ya Krishnena na ashu diyate. Krishna does not easily give that bhava to them. These are people who are completely liberated. So do you think a person who is aspiring to get liberated, who is aspiring for material benedictions, will Krishna give that person bhava? Impossible. So therefore, how is it that they are showing these symptoms of bhava? They are crying, they are rolling down. Why? So now he is going to explain this. So the problem is that there is a fault in their sadhana, which is because it is not pure bhakti. So otherwise pure bhakti is jnana karma dhyanavritam. So therefore that is not called as, that is not pure bhava. Then what is it? He explains. Kintu bala chamatkara karita chinna vikshaya abhigyena subodoyam ratyabhasa prakirtitah pratibimbastatha chaya ratyabhasodvidamatah. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Kintu bala chamatkara kari. People who do not know the real symptoms of bhava, when they see such exhibition, they may think, oh, here is a pure devotee. Bala chamatkara kari. Bala means an innocent, foolish person. Chamatkara kari. He will be astonished seeing that. Tat chinna vikshaya. Seeing those symptoms. Abhigyena subodoyam ratyabhasa prakirtita. But a knowledgeable person clearly sees, oh, this is rati abhas. This is not real Rati. This is not real Bhava. Pratibhimbas tata chaya ratyabhasod vidamata. And there are two types of ratyabhas. One is called as pratibimba ratyabhas. Second is called as chaya ratyabhas. We are going to discuss this in detail. But he says, Kintu bala chamatkara kari. This is very astounding to innocent people. Actually, historically, if you see, Prabhupada was not the first Gaudiya Vaishnava to go to United States. Even before Prabhupada, actually, there were a group of so-called Sahajiyas who dressed in saffron dress. And they were Bauls. So Baul is one of the Apasampradaya in Bengal, who were distorting the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and engaging in all types of cheating, nefarious activities. So here, once in San Francisco, this was probably in 1967, Prabhupada was already there, and once to the San Francisco temple, two saffron-clad young men had come, and they came with a dog in their hands. So this is described by Mukunda Maharaj in his book Miracles in the 26th Second Avenue, in that book. So they came and gave an invitation to the devotees to come and attend some kirtan festival by them. So they had formed a band. So if you remember, during the Avalon Ballroom, there were many bands in that San Francisco area. Moby Grape, the Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, and so many such bands were there. And along with them, these 4 or 5 saffron-clad Bauls, they had also formed a band, and they named the band as the Bauls. So what they would do is they would give a dramatic performance of kirtan, and some of them would sing, some of them would play, and 1 or 2 of them would dance, and they would whirl and whirl and whirl, and at some point they will fall down unconscious and they will cry and things like that. This was like a dramatic performance in front of the audience to earn money and fame. This was plain cheating. But some of the devotees, when they saw that these Bauls exhibiting such ecstatic symptoms, they went and told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you know what, they were crying and they were rolling on the ground. Prabhupada said, oh, you think they were real? Next time you meet them, when they are lying down in the ground like that, you kick them and see how they respond. Because Prabhupada clearly knew that these people were cheating and making such exalted emotional ecstasies cheap by displaying it publicly for getting some money. That is why here Srila Rupa Goswami says, Kintu bala chamatkara kari. Only a foolish person would get fooled by such symptoms. So he would look for at least the primary symptom. Anyabhilashita shunyam should be there. And then later also the 9 reliable symptoms of bhava should be there. Kshantir, avyarta kalatvam, viraktir, mana shunyata, and so on. So, as Rupa Goswami says, this rati abhas, or a semblance of bhava or a reflection of bhava, semblance of bhava has 2 types, pratibimba ratyabhas and chaya ratyabhas. So, this pratibimba ratyabhas, what is it? So, pratibimba means reflection, like you see your own reflection on a mirror. So, that is the meaning of pratibimba. So, what is this pratibimba ratyabhas? Srila Rupa Goswami says, Ashramabhishta nirvahi rati lakshana lakshitah bhogapavarga saukyamsha vyanjaka pratibimbakah. He says, Rati lakshana lakshitah. He says, Rati Lakshana Lakshita. When there are apparent symptoms of bhava or rati, like tears and so on, Bhoga Apavarga Saukya Amsha Vyanjaka. In a person who possesses desire for bhoga, enjoyment in this material world, or apavarga, liberation. So in such a person, you also see some symptoms of bhava, the external symptoms. So pratibimbaka, it is called as pratibimba ratyabhas. Ashrama abhishta nirvahi. But even this pratibimba ratyabhas is very glorious. These people, as I mentioned, they are not trying to cheat. They are not cheaters. This is a genuine emotion that they are undergoing. Why they are undergoing, we will try to see. But this is a very exalted state also. For a person possessing such material desires or a desire for liberation, to exhibit pratibimba ratyabhas is very glorious. Why? We are going to see. He says, Ashrama abhishta nirvahi. One who has a desire for mukti or bhukti, when he reaches the stage of pratibimba ratyabhas, this pratibimba ratyabhas is so powerful that it will very quickly give his cherished goals. So a person desiring liberation will very quickly achieve liberation, and a person desiring material desires will very quickly attain his material desires. How? By this pratibimba ratyabhas. Even though this is not real bhava, but the semblance of bhava is so powerful that it very quickly gives all the desired results for this person. Srila Jiva Goswami explains, Rati or bhava without motivation for material enjoyment, Anyabhilashita Shunya Bhakti, it yields bhava and then prema. But if one has other desires for liberation or material desire or other material achievements, then he attains what is called as this pratibimba ratyabhas. So there are, as we saw, two kinds of ratyabhas. One is pratibimba and chaya. We are discussing pratibimba. So even though some symptoms of tears or something may be there, but the other reliable symptoms are not there. So this is called as pratibimba, and even this pratibimba, as we saw in the verse, is so powerful that it can give him either liberation or material enjoyment depending on whatever is his aspiration. This is the extraordinary power of pratibimba ratyabhas. But what causes this pratibimba ratyabhas? Why is he crying? Why is he showing these symptoms? Why is he getting choked up? If he is not acting and he has material desires, then why is he crying? After seeing Krishna, after hearing the holy name, after hearing a lecture from a devotee, why is he crying? Srila Rupa Goswami says, Daivat sadbhakta sangena kirtanadyanusarinam praya prasanna manasam bhoga mokshagati raginam kesham chit hridi bhavendo pratibimba udanchati tadbhakta hrinna bastasya tatsam sarga prabhavitah. He says, Bhava indoho pratibimbaha. So, the real bhava is present in the heart of a true devotee. So, it is present in the heart of a true devotee when this person who desires liberation or material enjoyment, when he comes in the association of a pure devotee who has bhava, real bhava in his heart, then the heart of this muktikami or bhuktikami becomes like a reflecting surface, a mirror, in which the real bhava present within the heart of the pure devotee gets reflected. And in the association of this devotee, he starts experiencing semblance of bhava, bhavabhas. So, this reflection of the moon of bhava appears in the hearts of some persons who are attached to enjoyment and liberation, but who become somewhat satisfied by following the angas of bhakti. So, they may practice some limbs of bhakti and they are satisfied practicing those limbs. But why do they practice? Due to occasional, whenever they visit the temple, they may participate in the kirtan, like that. Tad bhakta hrin nabastasya bhava indoho. That moon of bhava is situated in the sky of the real devotee's heart. The real devotee's heart is compared to a sky. That bhava is compared to the moon. And the heart of this bhuktikami or muktikami is compared to water or mirror, the reflecting surface. And the reflection of that moon on this reflecting surface is compared to this pratibimba ratyabhas or pratibimba bhavabhas. And this is happening because of coming in touch with this pure devotee. So he is not cheating, it is genuine. But this is called as pratibimba because a reflection, even though looks like the original object, it does not have all the qualities of the original object. So, if you see your own reflection on the mirror, if someone wants to garland you, he cannot garland the reflection. Your body may have a particular smell, pleasant or unpleasant, whatever it may be. But if you go and smell the reflection on the mirror, it will not have any smell, or it will have the smell of some shaving cream or soap or whatever it may be. So, and one cannot talk with the reflection will not respond. So, therefore, but still the pratibimba looks in some respects similar to the original object. So there is some similarity. Similarly, in this person, he shows some signs of the sattvika vikaras manifest in him. He cries, genuine. His voice gets choked up, genuine. He is not cheating. So, but only some symptoms are there and all symptoms are not there. So this is pratibimba ratyabhas. So, sometimes by chance when such people come in connection with devotees, they develop some attraction to the chanting and hearing, and if that is performed by a very, very exalted, advanced devotee, then they get influenced by that. And even though their hearts are contaminated with the desire for liberation or material enjoyment, that moon within the heart of the pure devotee gets reflected in that contaminated heart, and some qualities manifest, some symptoms of bhava manifest. So as we discussed before, just like the reflection does not have all the qualities of the original object, similarly, this reflection of this real moon of bhava which is present within the sky of the pure devotee's heart, that reflection does not have all the qualities, only some qualities manifest. So, but when a practitioner of pure devotional service, when he comes in the association of such an exalted devotee, then he reflects the real qualities. They are not a reflection, but he starts manifesting some real qualities. Then the question arises, so when I am standing in front of the mirror, I see my image, but when I move away, the image also disappears, my image. Some image will be reflected on the mirror. So similarly, when this pure devotee goes away from the association of this person, will this pratibimba ratyabhas immediately vanish? Srila Jiva Goswami says, no. By the impressions it lives in his heart, the reflection of bhava remains there for some time. Even though the pure devotee may leave, for some time the reflection remains. In that way, it cannot, that analogy is not complete. For that matter, any material analogy is not complete. It has its own limitation. So even though here it is called as Pratibimba Ratyabhas, but that Pratibimba, when the person leaves, the Pratibimba immediately leaves. But here, when the pure devotee leaves, that reflection in the heart of this Muktikami or Bhuktikami remains for some time. Why it remains for some time? Because we will discuss this little later. Why it remains for some time. So now we will discuss the second type of Ratyabhas, which is called as Chhaya Ratyabhas. Pratibimba Ratyabhas is such symptoms manifesting in a person who has a strong desire for liberation and other material enjoyment. So this is Pratibimba Ratyabhas. What is this Chhaya? Kshudra Kautuhalamayi Chanchala Dukkaharini Rates Chhaya Bhavet Kimchit Tat Sadrishya Avalambini. He says, Tat Sadrishya Kinchit Avalambini. There are some very weak symptoms of bhava present in this person. So Chhaya literally means a shadow, and Pratibimba means a reflection. So how a person looks like, a reflection can give a more closer understanding. But if you look at a shadow, it gives a very vague understanding. You can at the most say whether it is a male or a female, whether he is tall or short. But beyond that you cannot, looking at the shadow you cannot paint that person. But looking at the reflection you can paint a person, because the reflection looks almost exactly same. But Chhaya, a shadow, looks very vague. But still there is some similarity. Therefore it is called as Chhaya Ratyabhas. So he says, Kinchit Sadrishya Avalambini. It will have some similarity to real Rati. Kshudra Kautuhalamayi. So this is created in a person who is curious. He has some curiosity. So curiosity is a fleeting emotion. It is there now, after some time that curiosity will not be there. Unlike the Bhuktikami and Muktikami, they have deep-rooted desires. But curiosity is a transient desire. It comes and it goes. So Kshudra Kautuhalamayi, he possesses a small interest in the Supreme Lord, some transient curiosity. Chanchala, which is very unstable. Dukkaharini, but it destroys suffering. This is called as Chhaya Ratyabhas. Similarly, when this person who has some fleeting curiosity, Arey ye log kya kar rahe hain? What these people are doing? Let me try to see. There is just some curiosity. So when such a curious person comes in touch with a pure devotee of the Lord, he experiences what is called as Chhaya Ratyabhas. And the symptoms of bhava present in this Chhaya Ratyabhas is weaker than this Pratibimba Ratyabhas. We will see the reason why. Here the word Chhaya means beauty or splendor. Here it also means a reflection or a resemblance to that beauty. This verse describes this Chhaya Ratyabhas, taking into account the meaning of Chhaya as a resemblance of beauty in connection with the word Abhas. He has little interest in the Lord. So, but little interest means, so it may be like, oh, these devotees are always happy. Let me try to find out why. Why these people are always smiling? Is it real or are they faking? That kind of a curiosity. It is no genuine, deep-rooted desire, that's all. Because there is but because that curiosity is related to the Supreme Lord, therefore he becomes qualified to receive Chhaya Ratyabhas if he comes in touch with a very powerful devotee. That is the meaning of Chhaya here. Because of the slight attraction to the Lord, there will be very slight symptoms of bhava. But because the nature of curiosity is transient. Therefore, Chaya Ratyabhas is also very weak. But because desire for Mukti and Bhukti are very deep rooted, therefore, Pratibimba Ratyabhas is strong. The symptoms of bhava are more manifest in Pratibimba Ratyabhas, and even when the pure devotee leaves, for some time, those symptoms remain. But in the Chaya Ratyabhas, it's a weak symptom, and when the devotee leaves, then that symptoms also very quickly leave. But still, this Chaya Ratyabhas, it is mentioned that Dukkha Harini, that is the glory of coming in touch with a pure devotee. Even when one comes in touch with a pure devotee, just out of curiosity, even that Chaya Ratyabhas has the capacity to destroy all his material suffering. What to speak of real bhava? So one should not say that, oh, here this person does not have any desire for liberation or material enjoyment. How can it be called as Ratyabhas? One should not say that. It is called as Ratyabhas because he has some material curiosity towards a devotee or Krishna or temple or something connected to Krishna. That curiosity is not spiritual curiosity. It is material curiosity, like that. That is why it is also called as Rati Abhas. And because it is different from Pratibimba Ratyabhas, Chaya Ratyabhas is different from Pratibimba Ratyabhas, because in Pratibimba Ratyabhas there is a strong desire for liberation or material enjoyment, and there is a strong commitment to the sadhana which may lead to liberation or material enjoyment. But in the case of Chaya, just curiosity, that's all, like that. Now, what causes this Chaya Ratyabhas? We have already discussed this, but we will still read what Srila Rupa Goswami says. Hari Priya Kriya Kala Desha Patradi Sangamat Api Anusangika Desha Kvachid Agneshu Apikshate Kintu Bhagyam Vinanasau Bhava Chayapyudanchati Yad Abhyudyataha Kshemam Tatra Syad Uttarottaram. He says, this Chaya Ratyabhas appears sometimes even in ignorant people by a combination of performing actions dear to the Lord. Like sometimes, just without knowing, they may fast on an Ekadashi, or they may perform Janmashtami because there is they may participate in a Janmashtami festival because there is lot of fun that is happening there. Or they may associate with the devotees of the Lord. So sometimes this kind of Chaya Ratyabhas can be given by a devotee, or it can be given by a dham, or it can be given by a day which is very dear to the Supreme Lord, like Janmashtami or something like that. Kintu asau bhava chaya api, even this Chaya Ratyabhas, yat kshemam abhyudayataha tatra syad uttarottaram. Even this Chaya Ratyabhas, which eventually bestows auspiciousness to those people, appears only with great fortune. So therefore, of all the curious people, of all the people of this world who have material curiosity, this person is the most fortunate, because he is directing that material curiosity towards something connected to Krishna. And Krishna is so merciful that he rewards even that person if he comes in touch with a very strong devotee, very advanced devotee. Then even he experiences a glimpse of bhava. He starts shedding tears, his voice gets choked up due to ecstasy, real ecstasy. He is not faking it. So therefore, there should be simultaneous participation in the items listed, which means He should be participating in the festival, residing in the dham, and associating with the devotees. So this is like a powerful combination. And that can give chaya ratyabhas, even in ignorant people. Because of association with devotees, festivals and other items, this rati is sometimes seen even in ignorant persons. Persons who have no good qualities such as tolerance and have no desire to extinguish samsara. Even in such people, it appears. But Rupa Goswami here warns. So in this way we have discussed about two types of ratyabhas, Pratibimba ratyabhas and Chaya ratyabhas. Okay. Tomorrow we will do a recap of this, but for now I will move on to the next topic, which is actually a long topic, but we will at least start. We will at least read the essence and then the details we can discuss tomorrow. So Srila Rupa Goswami says, but beware of offenses. Suddenly why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about offenses? He says, Hari Priya Janasyaiva Prasada Bhara Labhatah Bhava Baso Api Sahasa Bhavatvam Upagacchati Tasmin Eva Aparadena Bhava Baso Api Anuttamaha Kramena Kshayam Apnoti Kastaha Purna Shashiyata. He says, Haripriya Janasya Eva Prasada Baralabhatah. When one experiences the mercy of a great devotee of the Lord, Bhava Baso Api Sahasa Bhavatvam Upagacchati. Even this Bhava Bas, Pratibimba Bhava Bas or Chaya Bhava Bas very quickly becomes real Bhava if they come in touch with a very powerful devotee. Tasmin eva aparadena. But if you offend such a devotee, anuttama bhava baso api, even the most exalted form of bhava bas, kramena kshayam apnoti, it gradually disappears. Kastaha purna shashiyata, just like the waning moon on the sky. So the full moon after Purnima, gradually it starts waning away. In this way, if one starts offending an exalted devotee, even his very exalted bhava bhas start waning away, just like a full moon starts waning away towards new moon. He says, Bhavopi abhavamayati Krishna preshta aparadataha abhasatam cha shanakair nyuna jatiyatamapi. He says, Krishna preshta aparadataha, by an offense committed against a dearest devotee of the Lord, bhavopi abhavamayati, even a person at the stage of bhava actually loses his bhava. Abhasatam cha shanakair. But if the offense is medium, greatest offense, even bhava will be lost. Medium offense, then that bhava will turn into bhava bas. If the offense is very slight, then that bhava can become, if there is a madhurya rati, it can become dasya rati. Because madhurya is superior from the rasa point of view and dasya is considered to be little inferior. So even a person at the stage of bhava, if he commits a slight offense to a very exalted devotee, his bhava may become an inferior type. If it is a medium offense to a very exalted devotee, that bhava can become bhava bas. If it is a great offense to a very exalted devotee, then that bhava can be lost also. So, therefore, here some examples are given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says that Sadhya Rupa or Bhava Rupa Anushilanam has 5 types. Bhava, Prema, Pranaya, Sneha and Raga. So beyond Prema also there are 3 stages mentioned in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, but in Ujjwala Neelamani 3 more stages are mentioned. Mana, Anuraga and Mahabhava, like that. In this way there are 8 types of perfected devotional service, starting from Bhava, Prema, Pranaya, Sneha, Raga, Mana, Anuraga, Mahabhava. So however, because we are now discussing Bhava Bhakti, which is the lowest of these 8 types of perfected devotional service, when a person at the stage of Bhava commits an offense, his Bhava becomes less intense. So, and at the stage of Bhava, he could still make some slight mistakes. So, if it is, Bhava will be destroyed by aparadha to the dearest devotee of Krishna. But generally, people at the stage of Bhava do not commit such offenses. An example is Dvivida. So, Dvivida was a gorilla or a monkey. He was a follower of Lord Ram. But he committed some offense to Lakshman. So, therefore, his Bhava disappeared. He lost his Bhava. And therefore, in Krishna Leela, he came to obstruct the Ras Leela performed by Balramji. Same Balramji, Lakshman who came as Balramji. But if the aparadh is medium, then his bhava becomes bhavabhas. And the aparadh is very slight, then the bhava changes type. For example, Madhurya Rati can become Dasya Rati, or Dasya Rati can become Shanta Rati. Like if you see in the case of the 4 Kumaras, they lost their stage of bhava. It became Shantarati. Permanently, it became Shantarati because of offending Jaya and Vijaya and Vaikunta. Jaya and Vijaya are eternal associates of the Lord, the greatest of the devotees. So by offending them, by cursing them, they eternally could not reach prema. It eternally that their potential prema became Shantarati. And it cannot become Dasyarati or Sakyarati, Vatsalarati or Madhuryarati. It remained as Shantarati in Vaikunta, like that. So, therefore one should be very much careful about committing offenses, not committing offenses actually. Even if a person at the stage of bhava, generally they do not commit such offenses, but even if their bhava can be lost, our meager progress in devotional service, in a moment it can be lost if we commit serious offenses. So therefore we have to be very careful. Okay, I think we will pause here for the day and continue this discussion tomorrow. And tomorrow hopefully we will complete bhava, and if time permits we may start prema, or if not, at least we will complete bhava tomorrow. So we have taken, so in that case we would have taken 5 classes for bhava, and we can take 5 classes for prema also. So thank you very much for your patient listening. It was great pleasure sharing the writings of Srila Rupa Goswami with all of you. Hoping to have your association tomorrow also. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.